Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Let me say hello to a couple people and then we'll get started. Let's see. Who do we have here? Okay. Welcome Legs and Don J, Jacqueline Squash. Hello, Baron and Squatty's family. God is good all the time, and all the time our God is good. Have a blessed day, everyone. Thank you, Jacqueline. You always know exactly what to say. Okay, Donna Black is here. Sheila Watson, Angela Thomas, Connie Bomber. Hello, Connie. Fancy seeing you here. Emma D. Welcome, Mascara. Okay, now that just happened again. And just so happens, yes, there it is. Heather Dawn Simpson, thank you so much for joining Royal Sussex. Thank you for being a member. And also, happy Thursday to you. Be happiest of Thursdays to you. Okay, let's see what we got here. I'm just rolling back to make sure I haven't missed anything. Oh, thank you so much. Lydia is here. Church Nellie. Hi, Church Nellie. Yes, it is Cinco de Mayo. That's when all the gringos get together and dress up and pretend like there's something they're not, or pretend like they are celebrating a holiday and they don't even know what it is. Am I right? I used to work in the hospitality industry, and believe me, those drunken, marauding bands of it was just an excuse to drink and wear sombreros. It was offensive in so many ways, and I promise you, one of these days, I am going to sell that sombrero that I have been. I'm just kidding. I do not have a sombrero. Okay, what else? That would be appropriation, wouldn't it? That would be inappropriate appropriation, which, by the way, I don't know who's keeping count, but that was my first big word of the day. Thank you so much. Okay, Dorcas Baker is here. Also, Robert Collins. Robert says, Hi, Baron and fellow squatties, joining from Rome at 1900 hours. That is what, 7 p.m.? Is that 7 p.m.? Let me see. Wine bar is flowing over from Duchess Anne Lafayette. Oh, okay. All right. 19. Okay, I think that's 7 p.m. I think after 12 you add 2, right? So that's 7 p.m. 1500 would be 3, 4, 5. Okay. I think. Oh boy, there I go. But anyway, I'm glad Rome is so beautiful. It is the eternal city. It is beautiful. I love it there. I didn't spend nearly enough time in Rome, but I tell you, if you're going to go to the Sistine Chapel, you better go early because, well, you know what? I don't know what it's like now since the pandemic, but oh my, I'm not one to get claustrophobic. I don't mind crowds, but that particular time I was struggling. So yeah, enjoy yourself. Um, and I stayed at the nicest hotel. It was called Papa Germanos. Very, very cool. Papa Germanos. Look it up if you like. That's with a G. Papa Germanos. All right. Uh I'm going one day to yes, please do, Iris. You would love it. You would love it. Rome is so beautiful. And you know, there's so many churches and spires and domes. You don't know what is the Vatican until you actually, well, the Basilica of St. Peter's. You don't know where it is until you're actually there and you see this long avenue and everybody is walking and they're moving faster as they get closer and you're like, that's it. That's it. It's like going to Oz. You have that same exhilaration and excitement. So, yes, please, you owe it to yourself. Make sure you go. Church Nelly, you'll get there one day. You'll get there one day. Don't despair. You'll get there. I know. I know. I know. I always get the eye roll when I talk about my vast amount of experience with travel. But it is. Oh, did you go, Yvonne? Okay, I went to Rome, supposed to stay 1 week, ended up 2 weeks. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. Yeah, there you go. And stop by Switzerland. You know, it is common practice when you visit Switzerland, you get a bullion of gold and chocolate. So, yes. And you also get a free private bank account. Just ask the royal family. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, excuse me. Um, Yeah, by the way, it's raining again. It's raining again. We had a few hours of sunlight and now it's raining again. I'm about to lose my mind. Okay. Let me see. No one. Oh, well, I mean, I changed trains in Switzerland. And what I really loved about it is I found out they also sell the same sausage that they were selling in Germany. So I was happy. Yeah, but you really can't count a train station unless you actually go out and spend time. You could even count a day trip. But if you don't leave the airport or the train station, then you haven't been to that country or that city. That's my interpretation. Okay, so let us get going here. Um, Let me see. With all that talking, you would have thought I had brought my slides up already, but guess what? I didn't. Okay, but I promise you, I am not going to talk about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I don't even know what the case is about. I don't want to know. If it doesn't have to do with the Sussexes, I'm really, really not interested. Although I like Johnny Depp as an actor, I don't know anything else about him outside of his acting career. So I'd rather keep it that way. I really don't want to know so much about everybody. Um, I'm satisfied to see them perform, but other than that, I don't want to get into their business. I do not want to get into their business. Okay, getting my slides up. Got one more to go. Uh yeah, and I don't even do the thumbnails anymore, and that's a problem because then after I finish, I'm ready to run out the door if the sun is shining, and I can't because I haven't made my thumbnails. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start with slide number 3 first. I got 3 sets of slides. I'm going to start with number 3 first and then do it the other way just to get a little business out of the way first. Okay. So not that you would know the difference, but just remind me in case I'm finished before I even started. Sometimes, I still have stuff left over to cover because I neglected to prepare my slides. Okay, that was an accident. Didn't mean to do that. Off to a good start, aren't we? That was an accident. Let's see. Okay. Huh. You know what? I just decided to change that. How do you guys like this for the back? Nah, it's or this. How about this? Or this. Wait, no, that one. Let me see. I'll leave that for a while. It just the way it looks on the border and the edges is kind of. And I used to have this, which is like red satin. Don't ask me why. I'm going to leave the red. I like the red. I'll leave that for now. Okay, let's get started. You guys, thank you so much for your patience. There are 441 people here. Please don't forget to hit that like button. And we are so close to 14,000 subscribers, I could just taste it. I can taste 14,000 subscribers. No wonder my mouth feels weird, but I can taste 14,000 subscribers. Okay, here we go. Nope, not that one. We're going to start with this. There we go. So, one of the squatties reached out to me, and I was actually going to talk about this another day, but I decided, well, why not do it today? I mean, because given the um, sensitive time frame, or should I say, the story is time sensitive for obvious reasons. I mean, after all, Victor W. Butler, the last surviving Tuskegee Airman in Rhode Island, is turning 100 on May 21st. And his wish is birthday cards. Oh, I'll read every one of them. His post office box is in the story, which I will share with you. So please get your pen ready so that you will be able to write down his post office box information. The last surviving Tuskegee Airman in Rhode Island asked for birthday cards for his 100th birthday. He lives in Providence, Rhode Island. So please get your pens ready. Do it. Get that box of multiple collectible cards or whatever. You know, the ones you got from the dollar store, you get a bunch of them. Get those cards out, put a stamp on it, and send this man a birthday card. He deserves it for the sacrifice that he's made for this country. 100 years young. So that would mean he was born in 1922, right? 100 years young. Oh, Church Nelly, that is so nice. That Church Nelly, do me a favor now. Do not send any of your secret elixir, okay? Do not send any of that secret elixir that you make in your little still in the backyard because he's 100 years old. We don't want him running down the street, you know, in some inappropriate manner because he had some of Church Nelly's secret elixir. So just send the card. No liquids, just the card. All right. Got it? All right. Thank you. Let's move on. Okay. So, okay, here goes the information. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I just wanted to show you a few pictures first. These are the ones that went along with the story. He was a mechanic for the Tuskegee Airmen. And of course, I think Tuskegee was in Tennessee. And anyway, there he is as a young man. And check out the bomber jacket that he's wearing with the fleece lining. Very classic. The bomber jacket. United States Air Force. And at the time, I think it was called the United States Air Corps. I don't think it actually became the Air Force until after the Second World War. I'm guessing like in the 1950s is when they started calling it the Air Force. And so anyway, he he had to serve in Tennessee, and you know, at the time, people in town were not too keen on seeing Americans walking around, or should I say, not Americans, but African Americans. Let's be more specific. African Americans strutting around in their uniforms. And you know, I have to tell you, you would put yourself, oh, is it Alabama? Thank you so much. You would put yourself at great risk walking around in a uniform. And there have been United States military servicemen, including officers, the few African American officers they had, that were lynched because of the fact they were wearing their uniform. There are some black people, black men in particular, who died because they were representing the service to their country. So the fact that he survived that, um, you know, even as a mechanic, the fact that he survived that is nothing short of a miracle because people just didn't cotton too well to the pride in which some of these military servicemen would have in the fact that they were serving the country, that they were fighting for rights over in Europe that was not afforded to them at home. Did you get all that? They were fighting for freedom for Europe when they didn't actually have that same freedom at home. At home, they were still second class citizens. There was no great appreciation outside of the black community for these individuals. So the fact that he survived that is nothing short of miraculous. So, anyway, thank you for the suggestion. As I said, I did want to share it, but you were right to remind me. Unknowns person who told me, nope, 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 do it today, do it now. And I'm glad they did because I didn't even think about the fact that he asked for birthday cards. They would have been late if we would have done it my way. So, see, I do listen to you guys. Marion Owens. I worked at Tuskegee University for 5 years. Such history there. Well, thank you for sharing that, Marion. And thanks for being here. And let's see. Anybody else got any comments? Sheila Watson, after WW2, when black soldiers were coming home, they were pulled off of buses and lynched on the spot. See what I mean? Sheila Watson is absolutely right. Absolutely right. So, you know, even with the threat of war, it wasn't any safer to be at home. And the sad thing is these young men really thought in their hearts that their sacrifice was somehow going to change things when they got home, only to have been met with the worst possible um, R word stuff. And do you guys know the other day, not that this is anyway, I'm just gonna say, as careful as I have been, and you guys know I have been very careful with my language. I had a video that did not monetize for about 12 hours. What could I have possibly said? 12 hours. So I don't even know if I ought to bother being so careful because it doesn't seem to matter. Whatever words trigger the algorithm, I'm just like, I'm so tired of that stuff. I don't know what to do. But anyway, that is one of the reasons why I've been so careful. So if you guys find that a bit annoying or if it's off-putting, I do apologize. But to put so much into the work and then have something like that happen is just a nuisance. And that's it. It's just a nuisance. Okay. Any more comments? Okay. I'm looking, I'm scanning. Yes, please hit the like button. I know some of you guys are watching on television and it may not be easy to do, but trust me, it is possible. But if not, just don't forget to do it when you're done. Let me see. Okay, I wish there was a way to get his information to Prince Harry. Receiving a card from Harry, I know would make his day. I bet. Okay, so let's get your pens ready, and here goes that info. There we go. There are so many people that have lost their homes, and I am very fortunate to have a nice home and wife and my family who come to visit me often, said Butler. If you would like to send Butler a birthday card, you can mail it to Victor W. Butler, care of Gary Butler, Post Office Box 3523, Cranston, Rhode Island 02912. That's Cranston, Cranston, Rhode Island. And if you count a country, it's Ciara, Anston, Ara I for Rhode Island. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. I shouldn't have said that. Well, I'm just like who is it? Lyndon Johnson? I just lost the South. Lordy have mercy. As I live and breathe, I declare I just lost the South. See there, us Yankees, we never learn our lesson, do we? Um, despite of the overcast sky, I am actually in a bit of a good mood today. You will be glad to know that you have found me in great temper. All right. Oh, zip code. Who says zip code? Um, it's 02910 zip code. Did I miss something? Anything? Y'all got that? Let me see. Let's see, Baron, is there another platform you can operate on that doesn't censor selective words? Well, Sash, by my nature, I'm not one to use the curse word. So with that, I'm safe. But as for the other stuff, it's okay if you're not monetized. But if you are monetized, then they get very skittish about how it affects the advertisers. I'm not bothered by that at all because, if you're selling the product, the last thing you want me to do is to sit here and say something that will be jarring or offensive or share images that may startle people. So, um, I'm comfortable with that. I mean, there's ways that we can say what we need to say without making somebody sick on the stomach or upsetting the what do you call it, the advertisers or whatever. So it's not a big deal. It's really not a big deal, but still I think that it's a good discipline for anybody who has a platform to make sure that you stay within certain parameters. I don't have a problem with that. Okay, today is May 5th. We celebrate Liberation Day here. I am grateful that I was born free and live in a free country. I wish everyone to live in freedom and to be a free person and to remain a free person. Thank you so much for that, Faya. That is wonderful. I love that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. That is just like one of the most profound things I've heard all day. Okay, and then Beverly Hardy says, Baron, the Tuskegee Airmen were the most accurate and successful unit in the European campaign. They lost the fewest bomber planes in history of the campaign. Oh, thank you, Beverly. I did not know that. I appreciate that. Okay, let me see. Hello, squaddies. God has been to us and our Duke and Duchess of Sussex and Lily and Archie. Okay. Thank you so much for that, Faith. All right. All right. So let's move on then, shall we? Okay. Nobody's safe. This is why I decided to change this around a little bit. I wanted to just get this there sooner than rather than later because I just didn't want to end with this. But nobody's safe. Dave Chappelle attack raises concern for performers. The Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock incidents are raising questions about the safety of performers and whether America can still take a joke. Well, this, of course, has nothing to do with our Duchess being a comedian because she is not. But I actually added the photo to the headline from the story. I just put the photo over there because, well, honestly, there was an ad there and I wanted to cover it up. And also, I wanted to make very certain the point that the safety of the Sussexes is of paramount concern, and the fact that someone was able to run on that stage like that, those things happen in an instant. And as they say, the perpetrator, and I'll choose to use the word perpetrator or the intruder, whatever, that person has to get it right just once. Security has to get it right all the time. That's very crucial to remember. The perpetrator only has to be accurate one time. The security, they have to be ready, at the ready, 24/7. Whatever shift they're working, whatever detail they're on, they have to be prepared all the time. And so, having considered the idea of the Sussexes returning for the Jubilee, whereas before I was like, well, whatever they want, if that's what they want. Now I'm just not comfortable with it. Now I'm not comfortable with it. And the problem with situations like this is that there's the copycats. There are those people who are emboldened to try things that otherwise they thought would be out of the question because obviously, if someone else was able to do it, then it's possible. It's possible. And as things have changed with monetization for YouTube because of that crazy guy that went into the New York subway and got on the train and decided to attack people, they decided to scrutinize a lot of the YouTube channels, especially um, the hate channels. So when you Google the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, anything like that, when you Google her name, or should I say, search on the YouTube, it doesn't take you directly to all of those horrible channels. Whereas before, if you do hashtag Prince Harry, hashtag Meghan Markle, Sussex, whatever, it took you to a world of hate. Now it doesn't do that. Now the algorithm takes you to news channels. Not that their message is so much better. I mean, they just have a more subtle way of inserting the hate, especially if it's like, I don't know, out of Australia, one of the Australia talk shows, then they have a very subtle way, especially their morning show. They have a very subtle way of adding the hate. So, and as I'm saying that, I am going to search Meghan Markle right now, and I'll tell you what comes up. Uh, Extra TV, TMZ, Fox, Sunrise, which is Australia, just as I said, Inside Edition, Sky News, Us, um, Today, Australia, Sunrise, Australia, in that order, ET, let me see, BBC, The Wedding from 3 years ago, We On News. Yeah, so that's even Weon even talked about the Pearl series. Oh wow. Anyway, that became a global story, but you get my point. All of those are the ones, oh my God, Perez Hilton, really? All of those things are what comes up. And so you get mostly mainstream stuff. That's my point. Even Megan on the Ellen show from 5 months ago, that is what comes up. You don't get the body language experts. You don't get um, Sean Neil. I never know which name comes first. You don't get any of those anymore unless you are actively watching those channels. Then you don't have those just pop up. Trust me when I say that, because I have hit not interested so many times. I never see that Sean Neil, whatever his name is. He never comes up. Lady C, she never comes up. So that's one way to eliminate those from your reference, is to just hit not interested. The other thing is that the algorithm, like for instance, if you just crawled from under a rock, you didn't know anything about the Sussexes or the royal family, and you just happen to search them out, it's not going to take you to the hate first. So that's an improvement. That is an improvement. But for a content creator like myself, um, it brings more scrutiny upon me, where every time I make a video, I have to run back and double check and make sure that the monetization is on, because otherwise they may withhold the monetization until I appeal to have the video monetized. And that happens more often than not. And it's been happening like almost every day for the past, well, since the subway incident. So that is what happens on my side of the electronic device. Yeah. So anyway, that being said, there's so many opportunities for people to attack a public figure. Again, the assailant only has to get it right that one time, and security needs to be right every time. So that is why um, it bothers me that some of the hate and vitriol that has been launched against the Sussexes that even continues today. Someone who is very mentally fragile, or should I say, cray cray, may take it upon themselves to do the unspeakable. And that has been a threat for a long time. And then some of them aren't so crazy. They just are, caught up in their world of, I guess, very weird principles about upholding their race or the monarchy or whatever. And that's what motivates them. They're not necessarily so insane as they are just evil. So, yeah, that's why we have to be very, very, very careful when it comes to the Sussexes, because the threat continues, is still there, and we can't pretend like it has gone away. Nothing has improved as far as I'm concerned. The threat is still there. And when I saw what happened with Dave Chappelle, I was absolutely bothered, upset by it. So, anyway, I'm going to look at some of your comments and see what you have to say about that. Okay. Oh, hi. Let me see. There we go. Nurse Nurse Battle. Let me see. The period after WW1 was the deadliest time for Black veterans coming home. This was the time of the Red Summer. Yes, there's a name for it, right? Thank you so much for that, Nurse Battle. And here we have, I weep for my people, but I know those tears make us strong, powerful, and unstoppable. Amen. Okay, hello. Oh, let's see. Let me take a better look here. Um, I did, right? I did. I can do it again later if yeah. Just remind me, you guys, before I sign off, and I'll give the address again. Okay. They were being. Oh, yep, that word. Uh-huh. How dare they think that they were Americans worthy to wear the uniform? Yep, that horrible, nasty, what's his name? Emmons said it. Uppity. They were being uppity. Uh-huh. All they did was serve their country, and that made them uppity. Okay, let's see here. Um, oh, I did go back too far, didn't I? I'm sorry. Let me scroll back the other way. Baron, okay, I said that. Oh my goodness, I'm a mile in the wrong direction. Sean, thank you so much for the super sticker or super chat. Sussexes. Thank you. Sussexes. Okay, wow, I did go too far back. Okay, personally, I love Modelo beer. Okay, where are we here? I was running for president. A guy came up on stage, and Karen Jean, what is that, Pierre, got between him and Carmela Harris before the security got there. Miss Jean Pierre was fierce that day. Yes, and let's not forget the OG herself, Jill Biden, who on more than one occasion has stood between someone running the stage and Joe Biden. I don't care what y'all say. Jill don't play. Jill was on it. Jill's reflexes were quicker than that of the Secret Service. Yes, Jill was on it. All right, let's see. Yes, Baron, I've noticed the news channels. Oh, finally, I'm caught up. Yes, Baron, I noticed the news channel. I noticed that the hate news channels, and I have started to click violent and inappropriate content on their pages. Sometimes the thumb is mightier than the mouth. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and what Lorna means by that is that when you see something you don't like, you can just flag it by saying that it is potentially violent or inappropriate or whatever. And by doing that, you are educating the algorithm because there is a human on the other side who will assess that and determine whether or not there's a trend for that particular channel. So, and there is every possibility that that channel will be removed or whatever. So yeah, you have to do that, and then a human being will decide whether or not that was the right claim for that channel. So yeah, it's always a person that reviews that. So okay, let's see. Hi everyone, a little bit late, but I'm here. Welcome, Anastasia Isabella. Marshall, you say I'm glad those hate channels are no longer popping up. Me too. Troll guys. The name was Toad. She's here. Really? We got a troll. All right. All right. Is it my theory? Too many folks are way overdue for their meds. They better find a source. Yeah, there's a lot of people who won't take their meds, and those are can be very dangerous when people need that medication and not getting it. That's not everyone who takes meds, but just some people made it open season on comics. Yeah, Marsha, just like with the since the summer of George Floyd, when some people were out there marching for peace, there were also people that took advantage of that and started looting stores, and that started a trend. And there's like so many trends, and that is one that started. It wasn't the first time it happened, but I believe that some kids have gone on social media and have organized these things even before that, but more so during and after the George Floyd protest. People have hijacked it and taken advantage of it by using that as a distraction. So I remember there was a few days my local pharmacy and grocery store was closed. I think for like a week because of that. Okay. Oh, this is profound. I think evil never sleeps. We will continue to pray for and support the Sussexes. Thank you, Mo Shannon. Okay. Yes, I do speak Spanish and French as well, my native language, Danish. Anastasia Isabella, you speak French too? En français? Me too, girl. I speak French. Très bien. I speak French too. En français, très bien. That whole propaganda smear channel that do the worst of the gangers. That's against the Duchess. Okay, I think I know which channel you're talking about. Yep, that one. Okay, so I prepared just a couple of slides, and I there was more that I could have gotten out, but I just could not find them in my vast archive because I think they're mislabeled. But this situation here, when you have someone as powerful as that individual in the blue tie speaking in a very nasty and confrontational way, um, it can and y'all remember this one where this plant from the right wing asked a certain question about the Sussexes. And just the other day, I got so upset when I was looking through my photos and I saw something about paying for the Sussexes security. If you do not get why that was such a problem, then you haven't been paying attention. The idea that anybody sits up and this is what the tabloid media did while the Sussexes were in Canada. It started in Canada and it continued all the way to Los Angeles, where there was all this speculation about who's going to pay for their security. If the Metropolitan Police will not discuss even the cost of security for the royal family, why in the world would this royal family suffer from the discussion about who's paying for their security and how much does it cost? They wouldn't tolerate that in the tabloids, this speculation about how much does it cost for the queen's security. So why are you going after a pregnant woman at a time when she's at her most vulnerable? So from the time they were in Canada all the way to Los Angeles, it was all this talk about this security. That is just one thing they won't discuss. When they tell you how much the royal family costs, how much is in the sovereign grant, one part that they leave out is security. How much does it cost to guard their home even when they're not in it? That's not even up for discussion. But when it comes to the Sussexes, um, they had to bring in Royal Mounted Canadian Police into the conversation. They had to bring the Secret Service into the conversation, even though they never were required to protect them. And even when they went to New York, even when they went to New York, they did the best they could to identify every person on their security detail and put their images in the newspaper. Oh, this is a former Secret Service agent. Oh, this guy used to protect President Obama. And it was okay. It was okay. And the fact that that puts them at risk was of no consequence to the tabloids. I mean, I really, really that triggered me. I got upset all over again. So, not to put too sharp a point on this, but it's very troubling. What is more annoying is that he gets security at the expense of the taxpayers for life. If he was impeached, the taxpayers wouldn't have to pay for it. Lastly, he's extended security for his children. And don't forget his properties. Do not forget his properties. Any property that he lives in, any property that is one of his homes, not a home, but all of his homes are protected, and the Secret Service has to pay rent. They have to pay rent to the person they're protecting for the command center on that property, whether it's a bedroom, a room over the garage, a tent or a purpose built shed on the property. The taxpayers are paying for that for him and any other former president and their spouse. We're paying for that. So again, I am very, very triggered anytime I think about this security. The trolls are painting Meghan black, saying she hates Australia. Yeah, Faith, I've been avoiding that conversation because I don't want to feed into it. We all know that this smear campaign is done for the benefit of Kensington Palace. It's all done for the benefit of Kensington Palace. And I just refuse to have to um, defend something that has been incredibly successful. And they're trying to rewrite history and take that away from her. So, I'm just not ready for that one right now. But, I appreciate you bringing it up, but I'm not ready to do that is a little exhausting for me right now. Is other stuff going on like with this security, so I'm going to put that one on the back burner for a bit if you don't mind. Okay, Dolores William, I believe the story about the Duchess Meghan not liking Oceania tour came from Tina Brown. Yes, it did. Don't forget Meghan was in the beginning of her pregnancy when they went to Australia. Meghan did that tour in her first trimester. Trolls can't be so. Is that be so? What is that? Because I don't know what that means. Okay. I'm sorry. Let me see. Harry asked if his threat level was lowered. I also remembered at the time Harry saying if we knew what he knew. Okay, exactly. He did say that. If you knew what I knew. Exactly. Because don't forget, they receive reports from the Metropolitan Police when they were there. The Duchess of Sussex was not just in a position where she could have been threatened or her security was at risk. These were like written or verbal or however they were transmitted or delivered. These threats were very real. This wasn't just the paparazzi chasing them down the street. These threats were actual threats made by individuals who looked to Harry as being what they called a race traitor or whatever. That's where the threats were coming from. Those were just some of the threats. That was part of it. So again, troubling. And then you have this this very cold and sterile family, this um mm, what do you say about that? And then of course, you have Duchess of Doolittle. She just decided, well, I'll wear white today. Why wouldn't I? I mean, after all, it's somebody else's wedding. Camilla, not so much better with that very pale pink on, but yeah, there was a message to get from this event, if nothing else, especially the people sitting in the front row deciding to you know be very in your face about it, very very in your face about it. And then poor Harry, I promised I would never show this photo again because it upsets me. Wanted to make the point very clear. Poor Harry had been wanting out of there for a long time. And as you can see, aside from Mike Tyndall sleeping off whatever, Harry is not engaged with that group in any way whatsoever. And I can't help but think that Harry has been longing for something of his own away from that family for a very long time. And finally, when he should be happy, when he should finally have someone, a partner to share his life with, um, the same threats and then also new threats, a new kind of threat. I mean, physical harm based on the ethnicity of his wife. And then, of course, the usual, you know, paparazzi security threats. So it's almost as though he has double the amount of pressure upon him as opposed to this child worried about his mother with the paparazzi. He's a grown adult man worried about his wife with the paparazzi, as well as people who want to uphold the royal family, which, by all accounts, people have said have been the symbol of white supremacy for the UK. A symbol of the empire, a symbol of quite a few things in history since the time of Elizabeth the First. That's what the family upholds to a lot of people. There are some people who would not mind if some of the old ways came back, the old ways of colonization and empire. That's what people love to hang on to. This idea of the Commonwealth is because Commonwealth is really code for empire. Before it was Commonwealth Day, it was Empire Day. And this idea that the queen is head of state with all these realms, and people refer to them as realms, lets you know that those values are still there. Just like when people say the old South and the new South. Well, old South, we know what that's code for. New South means that there's a tolerance now, that there's more of a pleasantry amongst the people, and that you can openly live your life without worrying about ending up in the forest somewhere. Whereas the old South, I think we pretty much know what that means. That was when things went certain people's way and other people were discouraged from even trying. So um very, very, very heavy stuff to consider. But again, I'm just really concerned about the Sussexes' security now, more so because of what happened with Dave Chappelle, because those things happen in an instant. So we have to make sure that they are safe. They are safe. So, hello, Ivy. Welcome. Okay. Everybody, Ivy is here, who I adore so much. Okay. Ivy, I'm looking back. Let me see. The interspace various activities with the law. I'm sorry, intersperse various activities of the law. Okay. Well, I'm gonna leave that alone. Okay. And Patrice Patrick says to pay employee. Oh yeah, yeah, let's get to that. I was going to get to that. I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on, you guys. I think I've stayed on this one long enough. Thank you, Elaine Parker, for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And we need a reset big time. Uh, yeah, yeah. Let's go here. Let's go here. I'll do this first, and this is just a continuation of what we talked about yesterday. Good for them. Sadly, I don't think Prince William will do anything other than meaningless platitudes. His grandmother and father, uh, long what is that? British government, along with the British government, responsible uh, heinous. What is F for? Well, for crimes in Kenya, uncovering the brutal truth about the British Empire. Well, excuse me. Yesterday, and by the way, this guy in the flag suit, I don't want to single him out as a problem. It's just interesting. I saw him in person twice. I saw him in person twice while visiting in 2018, and he comes out for all the events. And in the shadows back there, the guy with the beanie on his head, that is John Lawton, I think is his name. He's a super supporter of the royal family. They both are. There's a handful of people that show up at every event. The royal family know them very well. Um, they usually receive gifts from them or something like that. So, on the one hand, you have this man of African descent, and on the other hand, take a look at that. Victims of torture of the colonial era. We told the truth, and at last, justice. And let me see, is he from Kenya? Let me see that. Oh, yeah, the Mau Mau War Veterans Association. Honestly, I don't know a lot about the Mau Mau War, so I'm not going to speak of it like I do. But as I said, this is not going away. Anytime the royal family considers taking a trip to another country, they better just go to Australia, Northern Ireland, Scotland. Well, actually, Scotland, Northern Ireland, they may get some brushback there. Australia, I think they're pretty safe there. But they really ought to consider these trips abroad, because any place where there's a possibility people might ask for reparations, including Canada and, of course, even Australia, any place where they may have that request for reparations and an apology, I believe people are going to be more inclined to come out. So if we're thinking to ourselves that people are copycats about running up on the stage and such, there's going to be a lot of people who likewise are going to want to have this discussion about reparations, or just to flat out protest the old empire. There's going to be way more of that stuff. Thank you, Brenda Timbo, for the super sticker. Thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex, and happy Thursday to you. Oh, Sherry and Sarday just popped up on my screen here. Real Housewives. Yeah, she's only doing the Sussexes once a week. By the way, if you guys are a big fan of Sherry and Sade, so she may discuss some of the other stuff that you're interested in. But I think she said she's going, unless there's a special occasion, she's only going to have a discussion about the Sussexes once weekly, which is unfortunate because I do adore her. Okay. All right, right. Let me see. Okay, I'm not that far behind. Prince William says human population growth in Africa is harming wildlife. Again, this is from yesterday. So is the one in the middle and the one on the end there. This is the stuff that got him in trouble. This man literally put his foot in his mouth. He has been having foot and mouth disease for a long time. And as Ann Richards of Texas once said, poor George, he couldn't help it. He was born with a silver foot in his mouth. Well, of course, she was speaking about George Bush, Papa Bush, who grew up from a wealthy, very well off Eastern what is it, New England family, and so she said he was born with a silver foot in his mouth because he had a few gaffes, and he also seemed to always get stuff just slightly wrong. So, okay, what am I missing here? Is their name Tyler Perry? Tyler Perry provided security and also sent his plane to Canada to get them. No, not the taxpayers of any country. Now Harry and Meghan pay their own. None of their business. Yes, Sonia Johnson. And you know what? Whatever product or whatever interest that the Sussexes have, if I can support that product, knowing that I can support them, then I will do it so that they will so they will continue to be able to support and protect themselves. And Ivy says, Baron, I was referring to media and British royal family activities against Harry and Meghan and breaches in the law. Oh, thank you for clarifying that. And I will definitely tune in for whatever you have Sunday, as I always do. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm like behind a couple weeks, but that was during the um Invictus games. But I'm gonna get myself caught up. I owe that to myself. And I'm not the only one. Mo Shannon always makes sure she catches up to Ivy. Okay, Tina Brown stated that Megan should have stayed. Oh my God. And in so many words, take the abuse like Camilla, and the media public would stay liking her. How sick is that? Diana Ware, that is an interesting point. Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy that I know this is not true, but I'm just going to say it the way it appears, that a whole population of a country is collectively interested in seeing very wealthy, privileged women in the royal family go through the worst abuse. I don't understand that. Now, I know that's not true. Again, on the surface, it seems like that the whole country is okay with that type of image of a wealthy woman in the very top of the aristocracy going through the worst possible mental torture, and they're okay with that. Now, I know that's not true. I know the majority of people in the UK would, probably find themselves sickened with the idea of it. But it just seemed the tabloids make it seem like it's okay. These novelists or writers or whatever, they make it seem like it's no big deal. Like, oh yeah, how does it they say you can stand there and take that butt whooping? Isn't that what some people tell women when they are in a very turbulent, very violent relationship? Well, you always have that one woman who will say, "You could have stayed." Really? Really? You could have stayed? And I'm not making this up. There are some people who feel like that. There are some people who will tell a woman that you could have stayed. It wasn't so bad. Well, you're not the one that's getting your behind handed to you, number one. And if you are, then you shouldn't encourage somebody else to go through that. How sick is that? But it's just how it appears. It's just how it appears. Again, I know that most people in the UK do not support that, but it just seems like collectively that people are okay with it. And that, that Diana should have stayed. That Kate should never leave. Kate should never leave. Kate should get down to about 90 pounds, and then let's talk about leaving. Not to say that there is a disorder there, but let's say if there was, then there would be people okay with you staying and dealing with it. That is sick. That is like some kind of collective psychosis or something. Uh-oh, I'm drifting into Ivy territory. Let me stay out of that. I'm punching above my pay grade. But you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to say. Okay, so let's go to the next one. I'm not even sure what's next. Oh yeah. I shared this one yesterday. This was about the letter. And this was also about the letter. If in case you didn't catch on it, the letter comes at a delicate time for the royal family when the palace wants to focus on marking the Queen's Jubilee, 70th year on the throne, as you prepare to celebrate your grandmother's platinum jubilee. Our own elderly members. Oh, let me get rid of that. Remember the pain of having their homes and land taken away from them at the same time. The Caricho campaign said to Prince Harry, "We have very little to celebrate." And that is odd that they want to celebrate the Queen's Jubilee. But whatever it is at this point in history, people want to have certain conversations, and there are certain elements who want us to just ignore it and move on. Let's just forget that this happened. Let me see, 1954. I wonder who was the sovereign at that time. Does anybody remember who was the sovereign back in 1954? Because I don't know. I'm not so good on British history, but I just oh 1954 Britain. Let me think. I know who it was. It was Lizzie. Lizzie was the sovereign, a young lady, but she was technically the sovereign. Yes, yes, it was Lizzie. I'll take Lizzie for 100, please. Lizzie was the sovereign. And so when people say we're not in the mood to celebrate, I really want to know what took so long. I really want to know what took so long before people decided, okay, enough parades, enough dinners, enough cosplay. We need to have a conversation. Yes, thank you guys. I was stalling, but you're absolutely right. Okay, so let's move on. Oh, there's Lizzie right there, wearing white, walking amongst her subjects. Yep. Very troubling images. The Queen's legacy, I'm sorry for those who are derangers listening to this channel, but Her Majesty the Queen's legacy is going to be forever tainted. Right now, people are not saying what they feel. People are not saying what needs to be said because they are trying to protect someone whose age has been weaponized for the sake of saving her from a lot of embarrassment. But um, this is only the start. We are just starting the conversation. Trust me when I say this. This is only the start of the conversation. It is going to go on, whether she's here or whether she's crossed over. The conversation has already begun. And I think if the Queen had not lived as long as she have, then the conversation would have started some time ago. But people have lost their patience. People have lost their patience and they want to talk about it. So again, the conversation has started. Get the checkbook ready because people want reparations and they want an apology. And of course, I didn't do this T-shirt. That was someone else. There's my T-shirt. Jamaica, come for vacation, stay for reparations. I know it's kind of corny and probably a bit inappropriate, but that was my design. Come for vacation, stay for reparations. Oh, but there is someone who wants us to, if we could just, maybe we could just set this conversation to the side, and maybe we can just, because there are people who want to celebrate the Jubilee, and they want to celebrate the Queen's 70 years on the throne, and we should just set this conversation. And plus, Meghan's a Hollywood actress and she could possibly play the Queen. Yes, it's maybe she could play the Queen for the Netflix series because after all, Meghan get what she wants. That is the person who wants to push everything to the side so that we might get this Jubilee started so we can celebrate. That she wants to put it to one side. That's what she said. Can't we just, and you think I'm making it up, right? I'm not. I'm not. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm telling you, it is true. She wants to put it to the side so that we could celebrate and sing Kumbaya and everything else. I got proof.
The Queen's Platinum Jubilee, as she has loved the Commonwealth ever since she became Queen. It's a very long time, 70 years. And I think that these things, for once, must be put on one side, and it should be a glorious warm feeling between the Caribbean and the UK. I mean, when Catherine and William went to Belize, there was this demonstration, which was very embarrassing for them. So they moved away from where they were to an entirely different place. So there became another demonstration for people who were very upset that they'd been missed out, that looked forward to seeing the royal couple for a long time. And they were very unhappy that they moved away. So if the whole thing is cancelled, if the whole thing is cancelled, it means there's going to be an awful lot of people who love the royal family, particularly love the Queen, and they will feel that they've missed out for no good reason.
Angela, are you not embarrassed? Are you not embarrassed? No. You should be embarrassed. I mean, you talk about there should be a warm feeling.
Don't tell me how I should be.
There should be a warm feeling. For who and from whom? You talk about, well, there's a
Don't tell
certain
me how I
thing
should be. Thank
at a
you very
certain time,
much.
and we should prioritize. You want to prioritize white supremacy
for God's
over
sake.
people's lives.
You just
And
lose the
let me
argument.
finish.
You just
I've
lose
not
the
lost
argument
any
with this
argument.
Ian hasn't
This
spoken
is
yet.
the point. No, I'm going to finish
get
because
to the
I
end of
let
the-
her
get to the
finish,
end
so
of the
I'm going to
sentence.
respond.
Right.
This is the point. The people in these countries are talking about the experiences that they've had. They are the descendants of the enslaved. You don't tell them, oh, put aside your feeling and be warm and receive, and glorify the Queen. That is wrong. And that's what I'm saying. You should be embarrassed.
Ian wants to speak.
You see, when you use these terms like white supremacy about a royal tour, you completely lose the argument. Whatever value your other arguments are, it disappears when you go to these.
Of course you would say that.
She can choose her words.
No, I don't need to. Listen, I'm speaking the truth, which you would like to call being ambivalent with the truth. I'm speaking
your
the truth. No, it's not just my truth. It's the truth of the Caribbean people. It's the truth of colonized African nations.
Okay, let
because
Ian respond.
British
This
Empire
program
is
is
all
not
about
about monologues,
supremacy.
it's about discussion.
No,
Are you going
British
to allow me to
Empire
have
is
a
about
word?
white
Are you going to allow me to have a word,
Of course,
Shola?
I have. I heard, and that's why I'm responding.
Pause. Come on.
I mean, seriously, this is
Yeah,
not the way.
seriously.
This is not the way to debate.
Don't police tone what I'm responding back to
Here we
you.
go.
Hang
Here
on.
we go.
Let Shola just handbrake on. Let Ian speak, and then we'll let you come back in.
This is as Angela rightly says, this is a visit to mark the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. You will admit that there are lots of people in the Caribbean who would like to celebrate this. There are people.
No.
You don't think there's anybody in the Caribbean
I mean,
that would like to celebrate the Queen's
You didn't say anybody.
Jubilee?
You said lots of people. They've
Yeah,
got
there would
councils
be lots of people.
in the Caribbean nations who have been trying to address the issue of reparations for years.
Yeah.
They're not interested in
That's a
celebrating.
legitimate
Hang on.
debate.
I want to bring
have.
in Angela just a moment. Angela, when William and Kate walked into that row, it did show, didn't it, that we here are a little bit unsighted on some of the things that Shola's talking about. We're a bit out of touch with it.
Yeah, I think that if what she's saying is true, and I think she should be very careful what she says, because I know she's very anti-monarchy in the first place. But if what she's saying is true, there would be no Commonwealth left. There are 54 members who want to join the Commonwealth. They are there because they want to. There's no things that they have to do. They get together and they talk and they sort out issues that they have. And even those who've become Republican want to stay within the Commonwealth. Now, that is because they like the Queen and they like the royal family. It can't be any other way. They could all go
whitewashing. Even Prince Harry talked about that it is important for the Commonwealth to recognise its roots and legacy, or the royal family to do that.
But these countries are voluntarily members of the Commonwealth. None of them have left.
Aside. This cannot be
All right,
put
Shola.
aside.
Why don't they leave? Why don't they leave? Why don't they leave then? Why don't all of these West Indian islands leave?
Shola and Ian,
just about the Commonwealth.
Angela, sorry.
It's about going to this
is
country,
like turning up at a party
and celebrating the British Empire. There is no British Empire. Nobody's interested in the white supremacy that British Empire.
We need to take calls. Shola, listen,
we don't want it.
Listen to.
They don't want it. Shola say they don't want it.
It must be put on one side, and it should be a glorious, warm feeling between the Caribbean and the UK.
Oh boy, what is she smoking? Does she smoke? If she does smoke, what in the world? I mean, that woman is psychotic, allegedly, possibly. Psychotic. It just should be put on one side. There's so many people who want to join the glorious celebration. Really? Really? People want to come out and join and celebrate in this glorious celebration. Glorious celebration. I wonder if this was glorious. Was that a glorious celebration too? Did they tell these people that they were going to go and participate in a glorious celebration? Is that how you got them the first time? Oh, that lady is nuts. She's nuts. It's something wrong with her. It is something pathologically wrong with this person. What the royal family did to Meghan was the last straw against people of color. The level of vitriol against the Duchess of Sussex is unprecedented, even after 2 years of leaving England for the United States. Patrice, Patrick, absolutely. And you know what? I believe in my heart of hearts that the I guess this conspiracy perpetrated against the Duchess of Sussex and of course the Duke of Sussex. I think that that Oprah interview may have done way more than we give it credit for. I think that people who live in some of these countries had a chance to see that behavior on full display of how they treat people of color. If they could do that to the Duchess of Sussex as a member of the family, what do they think of anyone else? What do they think? So I firmly believe that that interview has really hit the target. And I think that we will look back on it and say, uh-huh, that was the moment. That was the moment. Yeah, I don't I Norma, the conversation that they're having right now is one that they really should have had a long time ago. They would have saved themselves a lot of trouble if they would have just faced up to it instead of expecting everybody to participate in this glorious celebration for the queen's. After all, she's been on the throne for 70 years, right? That's what they really want. That's what they want is for people. They're trying to run the clock down, and they're hoping that people that are old enough to remember will suddenly just die off and it's going to be okay. Well, a lot of those people are living just as long as the queen. So, that conversation, and some people were children at the time. They have lived through it. It wasn't just what they heard. And even with the with Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street massacre, there are people who remember it. As much as they thought that all the past was buried, it is not. There are still 3 people who survived Tulsa that are asking for reparations, and a judge said that the case could move forward. And one thing about those cases, just because the people die off doesn't mean that you won't have to pay reparations, that you won't have to make good or make or right whatever has been wrong. That means the ancestors will continue the case. So um there's no hiding from this. This is just the start. I believe. Oh, by the way, I changed the scroll under her face there. I put something that I thought was more suitable. They had, whatever they put under the picture, but I wasn't satisfied, so I decided to put that myself. Something in my own image, I thought. Okay. So we got through that. I suggest well, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. I got such a kick out of it yesterday, and perhaps we'll look at it again today, and then we will go on to another subject if I can find it. If I can find it, I really need to get organized because I got stuff everywhere here. And ooh, ooh. Come on, where are you hiding? Where are you hiding? It's like a oldie but goodie, I promise. Oh, there it is. It's a oldie but goodie. Okay, incoming, you guys. Be prepared to adjust your sound.
Yes, Prince. Trenchtown wants $245 billion. That's what Trenchtown wants. $345 billion. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what Trenchtown wants. Yes. What do you mean?
Prince. Trenchtown wants $345 billion. That's what we want. We want $345 billion. Woo! I love it. Trenchtown, Prince better have my money. That's all I'm saying. Okay, you guys, let's we have spent an hour and 22 minutes on some pretty heavy stuff. Let's get petty, shall we? Because I promise you this morning I woke up on the wrong side of petty. Okay, so there you have it. As we discussed yesterday, and it is still part of the conversation today, Kate Middleton brings flowers to memorial for Sarah Everhart. Well, I don't know the whole story of Sarah Everhart. But I think she was it a police officer that killed her or something like that. I think that's what happened. But anyway, she was killed by some psycho police officer, I think. I'm not sure. But whatever it was, they had a public gathering. The police asked people to stay away per global pandemic. And so I'm not going to zoom into it for you, but trust me when I say this. Everyone that you see behind that wall of flowers, everyone that you see there is wearing a mask, except for maybe a few of the children. But there is one adult person who went strutting in there without a mask on, so just to make sure that everybody could see her face. And that was the Duchess of Sussex. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Actually, it was the Duchess of Cambridge, but the police thinks it was the Duchess of Sussex. Probably because with something that demonstrates a bit of a rebellious nature in terms of, I guess, supporting what people are feeling. You know, it instead of being a royal princess for once in her life, the Duchess of Cambridge decided to rebel, to fight for a worthy cause, and in this case, to memorialize Sarah Everhart. So obviously, people thought that, oh, that seems like something that the Duchess of Sussex would do, even though Meghan was nowhere around. But the police thought surely somebody using their conscience and being led by their heart, obviously, it is very Meghan-esque, right? But no, it wasn't Meghan-esque. It was Duchess Doolittle-ness. And so the police assumed that it was the Duchess of Sussex. Either that or they just had Meghan on their mind. I don't know. And there's another time when the Duchess decided that she would do something inappropriate. Aside from being exposed to her husband and whoever else who had the dreaded pandemic thing, she herself, they never said publicly whether or not she has come down with it or not. She just went out there without a mask on to make sure you could see her face. And then in the other photo, you can see where she decided to go to the christening wearing Princess Diana's earrings. So that way she could make sure that she made that moment something that the press would latch on to so it can be about her rather than, baby Archie or the Sussexes. She just had to make sure she stole a little bit of the limelight. Now, some people would say, and I'm just going to be fair when I say this, maybe that was her way of making sure that Princess Diana was there in that moment, right? a part of Diana. You're wearing her sapphire engagement ring. Do you need anything else? You are wearing a sapphire and diamond ring that belonged to Princess Diana. You didn't have to overdo it by putting on the earrings too. Okay? So if I had to be I guess the devil's advocate and say, well, she didn't mean anything by it because, well, she's just trying to help represent her mother-in-law. She's wearing the ring. What else do you need? Harry gave you the ring. Harry took his claim away from the ring and told his brother, you should have it. You should have it. And so William presented his mother's ring to his future bride. How much more generous could a person be? And to make a mockery of Harry, to make a mockery of the christening and the photo shoot, she just had to put Diana's earrings on just to make sure that the press would have something to talk about. I mean, after all, at this point, she had been hanging around that family for almost 20 years. She knows how things work. And so when people criticize the squad for criticizing her for being a mean girl, what else can you make of that? She knows better. She knows. She has so many things that she could have worn that day, and yet she decided to wear Princess Diana's earrings, the same one she wore when Harry was christened. Huh? Now, I could be the devil's advocate and say, well, I could even see if she offered them to Meghan. Would you like to wear these? But you shouldn't have worn them. You could have just as easily offered to loan them. That's troubling. That was deliberate. That was deliberate. Yes, I'm sick of it. Do you hear me? Sick! I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of it. You hear me? Sick! Okay, so Kate joins the vigil for Sarah. You can see again, Kate was the only adult out there without a mask on when the police said, do not come. They didn't want anybody there. They even arrested people that day. Do y'all remember that? They arrested people that day. And in spite of that, the rebel, rebel heart herself, Kate, Duchess of Doolittle, the rebel, decided to show up. She just big fat walked in there with no mask on to make sure you could see that unairbrushed face for a change. Usually there's airbrushing, but not that day. Yep. She just decided to go in there and take the picture. And then she went back to the comfort of Admiral Hall or Kensington Palace, wherever her husband wasn't, that's where she was. I told you I woke up on the wrong side of petty. So someone who otherwise has been the perfect Stepford wife for years decided that she was going to go strutting into the middle of a protest / vigil so that she could show everybody her face. She wanted everybody to see her face. See it? That's what she wanted to show people. Her face. No mask on. Sick of it. Oh, man. I am just sick of it. Metropolitan Police can't tell the difference between Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton. Police reports suggest a Metropolitan Police summary of the force's much criticized actions at the March 2021 vigil in Clampton Common for Sarah Everhart mistakenly referred to an appearance by the Duchess of Sussex. how in the world do you confuse how do you confuse the Duchess of Sussex for this? How do you make how? How did you do it? How is that possible? Again, huh? I'm not taking sides. I'm just saying that's a real stretch. That's a real stretch. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. Don't worry, you guys. I'm good. I am sick of it, but I'm good. Now, I can see if they thought this was the Duchess of Cambridge. I can understand that. But not the wrong side of petty. And as I said yesterday, it's happened before. When that time when she and not remember. Remember that time? Y'all remember? Remember that time that Prince Harry and Kate went to Belize? Remember that? They took that trip to Belize? Or how about that time Royal Butterfly, the Duchess of Sussex, captures Charlotte's wonder as she cradles fragile insect. Now you got a picture of Duchess Doolittle right there. How in the name of all that is gloriful did you actually confuse? How? How do you do that? Do you all have the Sussexes on your mind 24 hours a day? Is that all y'all think about is Sussex, Sussex, Sussex? Huh? Is that it? Can you think of anything else? No, because the Sussexes are the most famous, the most popular, the most influential royal couple in the world. And that's why even the Metropolitan Police can't stop thinking of them. They just can't. They just can't. They just can't stop thinking of them. They just can't. They just can't. Yeah, so it's all Sussex all the time, just like Royal Sussex. All Sussex all the time. Okay, okay. Trigger warning, trigger warning. Hit it, Annie. As you know, Martin Luther Cambridge and Coretta Scott Kate, they do nothing but spend time around black people. Ooh, they love black people. Lordy have mercy, they can't have enough black people around them. And so you would think that the sight of a woman wearing cornrows would not shock Coretta Scott Kate as much as it does. Oh, Coretta Scott Middleton. You would think that she wouldn't be as shocked. But there she is greeting this person. And take a look at this. Take a look at this. It's like she just. Oh, hi. With her big phony self. And then look at this. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You see what I mean? The eyes tell it. And I can't help but think she was probably thinking about something else at the time. Like, for instance, maybe she was thinking about her grandmother-in-law, huh? I wonder what she would do if she ever saw the queen wearing cornrows, huh? Would she have that same reaction? Oh man. Yes, exactly, mascara. Exactly. Crazy eyes. Hey, Baron, how are you? And all squatties. I have a gut feeling, but thank God Harry found his bride. Let me see. Imagine engaging with another man's inheritance. Imagine it. Imagine it. Okay, she looks like she's trying to mold her face into Meghan's. I can't remember in the past that she smiled this big, and every now and then her phony mask slips enough to show that she is not authentic. Every now and again, like just about every time, it's just sometimes they don't pull those photos out fast enough. Sometimes they catch her off guard, and I tell you, it's like night and day. It's almost like another person. But don't despair, you guys, because Jazz Hands is back. Did y'all hear me? Jazz Hands is back. Bum, ba-da-da, ba-ba-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. One singular sensation with every little step she takes. Jazz Hands was on full display, y'all. I mean, she was swelling, pointing, gesturing. Whoever was standing by got a real show. You know what I'm saying? She put on a stellar performance because all that Jazz Hands is back. Look at her. I mean, she's just Mama is working it, ain't she? Jazz Hands is back. Yes, she is, y'all. Yes, she is. And she's doing it. She is doing it. She's gesturing. She's mentioning. She's talking. She's referencing, inferring. She's doing all that stuff using her main mode of. And matter of fact, as I was in a petty mood today,
in this work. So very much looking forward to today's conversation. Thank you.
Thanks. And I want to say
The United Kingdom, and I hope you'll enjoy the discussion today, and thank you for your interest in this work. So very much looking forward to today's conversation. Thank you.
thanks.
one more time. And I know there are no subtitles, and you probably don't know what she said. Nobody does.
Today, and thank you for your interest in this work. So very much looking forward to today's conversation. Thank you.
Thanks. And I want to say
The United Kingdom, and I hope you'll enjoy the discussion today, and thank you for your interest in this work. So very much looking forward to today's conversation. Thank you.
thanks.
What? I couldn't understand. What did she say? Oh, man. But yes, the Jazz Hands were on full display today. And I don't know if anybody is going to mention it, but I will. Was she trying to send a signal to Harry by wearing that dress? Was she trying to send a signal to Harry by wearing that dress? I mean, that rather dark teal color is a bit unusual, but I could not help but notice that that dress is the same one that Harry, or should I say the same color that Harry was wearing to the polo match, as though she's trying to say to Harry, "Oh, won't you please come to the Jubilee? Please, please come to the Jubilee." I don't know. It's just me, but I'm just saying I couldn't help but notice that that very unusual color, one that I've actually seen the Duchess of Sussex wear in the past, where there she is wearing it to that fashion thing. Yep. Oh no. Oh no. Really? As Phoebe Buffet would say on Friends, oh no. Oh no. Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. Now, a little breakbeat, please. Where's my breakbeat? There you go. Kate Middleton is hiring new assistant for £27,500 a year, and they need to be big fan of hers to get the job. Well, that counts me out. That counts me out. Yes, if you want to make 27,000 and a half pounds a year, you can be hired as an assistant for Kate Middleton. But I have to warn you, you have to be very much prepared for sudden shock. And also, I decided to go into my archives and find this young lady. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge top housekeeper has suddenly quit as the job became too demanding, according to a UK report. Sadie Rice, 35, packed in her £35,000 a year, or at the time $60,000 a year job when asked to move with them to Norfolk, Amber Hall, to Kensington Palace. Move from Amber Hall to Kensington Palace. A source told the Queen's nearby Sandringham estate said, that's so small I can barely see it, but let me try one more time. A source at the Queen's nearby Sandringham estate said Sadie's a hard worker, but the job's demands got too much even for her. They wanted her to spend more time at Kensington Palace, and her work was increasing all the time. She wasn't having a normal life outside of work. Sadie's serving her notice, and it seems nothing will change her mind. It's their loss. Yeah, so poor Sadie was overworked by the Cambridges. Overworked because Duchess of Doolittle was not appreciative, according to Sadie, and that they were trying to work her harder. So she quit. I mean, most people, when you get those jobs, you don't just leave because you can get an excellent reference. But she was like, I'm out of here. Y'all trying to do too much, and I'm not having it. So Sadie quit. Now, as I said, be prepared for sudden shock. So if you want that job, just remember from time to time, you will have to be prepared for sudden facial tics. Those facial tics. And then also, you have to be prepared because unless you're very athletic and have good reflexes, those jazz hands flailing about can injure someone. So you have to be very fast. You have to duck quick. You have to draw back and everything else because you might get hurt if you're, and then too, there's this that you have to be concerned about. Okay? So there's a lot of perils that comes with working for the Cambridges. And unless you're prepared to deal with all of the possible injuries and shocks that come from working at Amber Hall or Kensington Palace, then maybe you should reconsider and find employment someplace else. Plus, remember, you have to be a real big fan of jazz hands. Okay, it's not really a lot. She spent almost the same amount of money for one outing. So right there, you can see what she's willing to pay an employee for just a year's work. She spent that much going to Ireland that time. I couldn't believe it when I saw it, but she paid £1,567 for the Jolly Green Giant dress. She paid £1,567 for that dress. I could not believe it. Let me see. She's wearing 17,000-pound earrings, I guess. That headband, 59 pounds. and whatever that other one is. So, and a $3,000 coat. Yep. Kate Country's Kitchen Cottage Curtains. Kate's Kate's Country Cottage Kitchen Curtains cost £1,500. Unbelievable. But you know what? The other thing is, if you are going to work for Kate, just remember you have to eat the same pie that they eat. You have to eat their pie. And of course, you have to go out and you have to go buy food so that Kate can pretend like she made it and take it over to the Ukraine Cultural Center. So you have to do stuff like that. You have to be prepared to go get food so Kate can pretend like she baked something for the people at the Ukraine. I told you guys I woke up on the wrong side of petty today. So forgive my pettiness, but like I said, I woke up on the wrong side of petty. But what can I say? What can I say? Well, I tell you what, you guys. I'll say this. I will say this much. Where is it at? I'll say no, actually, nobody could say it better than William, right? William put it best. William said,
I'm sorry we can only come and give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time and we really care about what's going on. So
sometimes it's lots more than financial.
Well, if we can give you the odd smile here and there, that's important. So, you know. I'm sorry we can only come and give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time and we really care about what's going on. So
sometimes it's lots more than financial.
Well, if we can give you the odd smile here and there, that's important. So, you know.
Doesn't it seem like she was trying to not laugh when he said that? If I was a body language expert, I would say it appears as though she was trying to not laugh at his words when he said that. See, look at her eyes. It just seems like she wanted to laugh. I'm a body language expert. See how she clenched her jaw and snapped her head around? Her mouth is askew. The corners of her mouth went up. She's trying to not laugh. I'm a body language expert and I know these things. I took a course online. See? I'm a body language expert. Oh man, as I said, I woke up on the wrong side of petty this morning. So anyway, Celibici believes that Tina Brown basically confirmed that Angela Kelly leaked the tiara story. Tina Brown's book is nothing that the squatties are likely to read. Celibici, they're not really squatties. They are just journalists. And one of them for sure, I know, said she was going to read the book. And it's not that she believes everything in the book, but as a journalist, she said, I can't remember which one, but she said she wanted to see how Tina Brown structured her narrative or whatever about the Sussexes or the royal family. And so they bought the book and read it or whatever. And apparently she says, yep, Tina Brown basically confirms that Angela Kelly leaked the tiara story. So Angela Kelly seemed to be like one of those servants in like some royal drama or like some Downton Abbey where she had this very pompous, nasty attitude against the Duchess of Sussex. Now, I'm not saying I necessarily believe that because, like anything else in the book, there's a lot of license that has been taken with the actual events. As they say, recollections may vary. Some recollections may vary. So I don't know how much I believe that, but as Celibici said, it seems as though if we are to believe what was in the book, that basically Angela Kelly allegedly had it in for the Duchess of Sussex and did not mean to cooperate in any way necessary to help, um, integrate her into the family, if you will. So, just interesting. All right. So, have I gotten through everything? I wonder. Well, let me see. Do I want to touch that one? Okay. Let me see. I know I skipped something. No, did I? Nope, I did that. I've done this one. Yes, yes. And yes, I think I did manage to get through everything in less than 2 hours today. In less than 2 hours. I just can't. I just can't believe it. I just can't. Um, all right. All right, you guys. That's that. That is good. All right. So on that score, let me give thanks to our faves, our queens of everything, and our Queen of Hearts, Doria and Diana. And also, yes, I can't believe it. Yeah, I think I did get through everything. I'm taking another look. We talked about the colonizer. We talked about that. Yes, yes. Everything is good. Or did we? Yeah. I think I'm good. I'm good. Although I will share this. I will share this. Where is it? Got that. There it is. I don't know. I've had this for some time, but one of the squatties made that. Who gives up everything to protect his family? Harry, that's who. Harry is the one who gave up everything to protect his family. And that's why we love and respect him so much, because he gave up everything to protect his family. So that was the only other thing I needed to share. Okay, you guys. So if you all are ready to bounce out of here, that is perfectly fine. I am going to look for some last comments and then a final thought of the day, and then we're going to ginger venger ourselves out of here. Ooh, what is that one? Okay, let's see what you all got to say. Oh, thank you, Faith. Thank you. Thank you. I am so glad that you all trust me to do this. Thank you for stopping by, Ivy. We love you so much. And you all, please don't forget to subscribe to Sussex Global UK. Ivy is my absolutely favorite content creator for a Sussex friendly channel, but you all know that already. Okay, and who else? Oh, thank you so much. And it's trying to, let me see, it's trying to be Diana. She is being herself. I think you meant she's not trying to be Diana. Yeah, I think that's what you meant. Thank you for that. And Karen, bye everyone. See you tomorrow. No bad energy. Thank you, Karen. All right. Okay. Who is this? I made it. Hi, everyone. Miss Viv, you know we done, right? We all jumping ship right now, but thank you for being here. Let's see. Angela Kelly is a queen's dressmaking. She was not present when Diana chose when Meghan chose the tiara. The only three people who were present was the Queen, Meghan, and Harry. Kenether Ash says that. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I said if we are to believe this or that. But there was another opportunity where Meghan wanted to do a hair practice or dress rehearsal or something like that, and so they were saying that at that point, I believe it was a different occasion when they said that she was, being uncooperative. Maybe. I don't know. That's why I said I'm going to put a little asterisk next to that because that story has taken on a life of its own. And I really do like to be fair, even with people that I don't particularly like. I do like to be fair. So I don't know. Um, the truth may be somewhere in between everything that we've heard. Yes, indeed. Thank God she's free. They both free, happy, and flourishing. You know what? I like that cookies and cream. That will be our last thought of the day. Let's ginger adventure ourselves out of here. That was lovely, perfect. Nobody could have put it better. Thank you, cute ginger avenger. Okay, thank you so much, you guys. Well, this is our after talk, isn't it? But yeah, just want to say again, thank you guys so much for um trusting me to do this. It has been over a year, and in that time, Royal Sussex has grown a lot. I feel like I've grown a lot because I have learned some skills on the computer that I didn't have before. And some of you all who have been on this journey with me has seen how editing and such has changed. And yeah, and so as you know, I've been editing more videos lately because that is really my first love. I really, really enjoy that. So I will continue to do that more in the future. So do stand by for that. And yes, and tomorrow is Archie's birthday. I don't know why I keep forgetting to mention that. Archie's birthday is tomorrow. Yeah, so I got to do something for Archie's birthday, don't I? Yeah, I better get cracking on that. Maybe something edited. We'll see. But I still got that kind of hesitation about anything to do with the Sussex kids, only because I'm like super protective of them. And so I always think twice before sharing images that have been seen by everybody. But that's just like a knee jerk reaction I have is protect, protect, protect. So I have to think of something, if anything. I'm not sure. I kind of get squirmish about us, a little squirrely when it comes to dealing with the children, only because I want to protect them. That's it. But yeah, so thank you, Susie Q, Pamela Porter. What is that? Sharon Jones and Teresa Weissman, April May, Mo Shannon, Pamela Porter, Elaine Parker. Thank you. Reba Henderson, TT Carter. Thanks. 1998 champions. Is that the Bulls? Sonia Johnson, etc., etc., etc. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see y'all tomorrow. I try to be on time every day because I think this is a cool hour. I love being on people's lunch breaks or even helping people prepare for dinner. That makes me feel good. All right. Thanks, guys. Love you all. And I'm going to go.